Horse stance isometric. The horse stance is a movement often used in martial arts. In this video, we are going to use the horse stance as a hip mobility drill and a progression towards the side splits. As the hip mobility increases, the horse stance exercise can be performed with a wider stance. The horse stance is performed in a similar manner as a squat. We aim to keep the torso as upright as possible, have the knees tracking over the toes, and to go as deep as possible. Start in a standing position with the feet together. From here, begin to walk the feet out in a heel to toe stepping motion. Count the number of steps you take, as this is a good way to measure your progress in the horse stance. The number of steps taken will depend on hip mobility. We need to find a stance that allows us to squat down with the thighs parallel to the floor or below. Once we reach the desired stance width, the feet can be pointing straight ahead or turned out. Find what is comfortable for you. Before performing the isometric hold, I typically perform a number of repetitions to test the stance width, the depth of the squat, and to prepare the muscles for the isometric hold to come. Feel free to move around in the horse stance while performing the squats to help mobilize any tight areas. After performing the squats, sit down in the bottom of the horse stance and hold for the prescribed amount of time. I like to balance a stick on the thighs during the isometric hold, as this forces the hips to be level with the knees or below. If the hips are above the knees, the stick will roll off the thighs. In the beginning, it is best to focus on tilting the pelvis forward into an anterior pelvic tilt, APT, and leaning the torso forward. As the adductor strength and flexibility improves, push the knees forward slightly and move the torso to a more upright position. If you feel comfortable in the horse stance with the torso upright, the knees out, and the hips below the height of the knees, you can start to widen the stance and increase the intensity of the stretch.